Number three is don't date a future version of this other person. So it's very easy. And I think it's actually, for me at least, one of the most seductive traps is falling in love with someone's potential. So it's very easy for me to look at anyone, particularly someone younger than me, and see their wild potential. And I am such an opportunist, and I'm so positive, and I like love people so much, friends, colleagues, whatever, where I can see where they're going or where they could go. And we can be actually like very disingenuous and very unfair to them by not allowing them the space to, one, get there on their own terms, get there on their own timeline, or go someplace completely fucking different. And so by falling in love with someone's potential, it really actually puts us in a very liable state to then have profound levels of disappointment and actually become almost predatory by trying to shape their future outcomes. Now, if someone comes to you and says, hey, these are the things that I'm working on, this is where I want to go in my life, and I feel like you are a great partner that I can do that with, that's awesome. The level of emotional and mental maturity required for someone to actually even conceptualize that, let alone have a conversation about it with you, is like pretty extreme and pretty rare, I think, in our culture. And so for us to idealize this future version of another person, we have to be incredibly careful about it and be very present for them in the moment of where they are right now. Because if you don't appreciate exactly where they are now, you're basically just trying to date this imaginary thing in your mind and not actually who the person is in the immediacy of your life. So this can then really play into this notion of you then can also become like the witness to their phoenix and be very burned by the fire of their becoming. Okay, so like what the fuck does that mean? So in a Phoenician revolution for an individual or a culture, I think we're going through one now, it's very messy. There's a lot of flame, there's a lot of burning and sloughing off of feathers and flesh. And if you are close to that person as that's occurring and you don't have incredibly strong boundaries and incredibly solid sense of self, you will get wrapped up into that. I notice that very frequently with people who are going through their Saturn return. This happens around the age of 30, 31. I understand this also happens with males. I see it more with females just because I date females. I'm heterosexual, and so that's who I spend my time with. This is a time of really powerful becoming for women as they're transitioning from woman into woman plus. I don't know what we should call that, but it's the post-Saturn return womanhood. It is incredibly powerful. And either people can ride through that or they get bucked off that particular phoenix. And that's totally fine. But I would really be mindful of the person whom you're with. If you are dating that future version of them down the road, you don't actually give them space or appreciate them for who they are now. And ultimately then it's more about you wanting to be with something other than what they are. And that is, I would say, like borderline cruel.